And finally, the European Union's prized free movement in the Schengen zone is under threat. Border controls by some of its members are hindering the passport-free movement. In the latest, Germany has introduced temporary controls on not one but all of its 9 land borders. Berlin's decision has angered some of its EU partners, including Poland and Austria. While Germany says its decision is aimed at curbing illegal migration, Poland and Austria call it unfair and a contravention of the European law. The face-off among EU partners has not just put the bloc's unity to the test, but also its foundation of free movement. Is this the beginning of the end of Schengen? Our final report has the details.
Schengen, Europe's passport-free area created in 1985, which now has 29 European countries. It allows free movement to more than 425 million EU citizens between all members without border controls. But this passport-free movement in the Schengen zone is now facing severe threats. Why? Because one of its members, and a crucial one, has decided to tighten controls. Germany has introduced temporary controls at not one, but all of its 9 land borders. Berlin says that controls have been in place at its border with Austria since 2015, with Poland and the Czech Republic and Switzerland since 2023, and now it will extend the controls to France, Luxembourg, Belgium, the Netherlands and Denmark. Germany says stricter controls will help curb migration and protect against acute dangers posed by Islamist terrorism. Germany has witnessed a series of knife attacks in recent months. The suspects of the last attack in Solingen were asylum seekers. The Islamic State claimed responsibility. The attack came just days before regional elections in eastern Germany, where the far-right anti-immigration AfD party saw historic success. Polls show migration is also the biggest concern for voters in Brandenburg, which will hold its elections next month, with Olaf Scholz's centre-left Social Democratic Party forecast to finish behind the far-right. Germany holds a central position in the European Union. It is also the bloc's largest economy. So any decision it makes has an impact that reaches far beyond its own voters. These border controls that come into force on September 16th for 6 months will allow more people to be turned back. This decision has angered other EU members. Poland accuses Germany of acting unilaterally and unfairly. It says Berlin's plans are unacceptable and are a contravention of the European law. Poland has called for urgent consultations with Germany's other neighbors. Warsaw has already been tackling migration crisis on its eastern border since 2021, which it blames on Russia and Belarus. But Poland also blames Germany for failing to give it adequate support. Austria too has raised an objection as the row grows among EU members. Vienna says it is not prepared to receive any migrants who were turned back at Germany's borders. But Germany is not alone. Other Schengen members also currently operate controls on some of their borders. In fact, Austria does too. It cites Ukraine-related security threats and pressure on asylum to check arrivals from Slovakia, the Czech Republic, Slovenia and Hungary. Denmark carries out checks on land and sea transit from Germany, citing terror threats related to the war in Gaza and Russian espionage risks. France checks Schengen zone arrivals on the grounds of an increased terror threat. Italy, Norway, Sweden, Slovenia, Finland also operate border checks, citing terrorist activities, war in Ukraine and conflict in the Middle East. Russian intelligence activity and increased migration flows are also among the reasons. The European Commission has so far accepted all justifications by member states for reintroducing temporary controls. It is expected to do the same for Germany. However, earlier this week the Commission said member states were allowed to take such a step to address a serious threat and the measures needed to be proportionate. For Germany, the decision that puts in place checks on all 9 borders seems to be based on an electoral threat from the far right. These border controls by Schengen members also have an economic impact. The Schengen zone has lost billions of euros in the past few years. But more importantly, they've dealt a heavy blow to European Union's prized free movement and have been severely threatening the European unity. Is this the beginning of the end of the Schengen?